George Washington, often hailed as the father of his country, led a life marked by dedication to public service, resilience, and visionary leadership. Born into a modest Virginia family in 1732, Washington rose from humble beginnings to become a pivotal figure in American history. Today I'm going to go over a timeline of George Washington's life. I'm not going to talk about everything, but I am going to go over some key events that happened in Washington's life. So let's begin. Washington would be born on February 22nd in Westmoreland County, Virginia. Washington becomes the official surveyor for Culpeper County, Virginia at the age of 17. Washington's half-brother Lawrence dies, leaving him to inherit Mount Vernon and all the property there. Washington was sent by the Virginia governor, Lord Dunmore, to deliver a message to the French in the Ohio Valley, making this his first military mission. The French would, though, reject Washington's mission, so Washington would have to go back and tell Lord Dunmore the French denied his proposal. Washington would lead his first military engagement at the Battle of Fort Necessity, marking his entry into military life and the start of the French and Indian War. Although the battle did end in defeat, it helped shape his future for his leadership style and how he was going to go forward in future battles. Serving as an aide to British General Edward Braddock, he distinguished himself in Braddock's failed campaign against the French. Washington would retire from military service and return home to manage Mount Vernon. Washington would marry Martha Curtis, a wealthy widow, which would greatly increase his social standing and his wealth. This would allow him to really focus on public service and maintaining the plantation at Mount Vernon. Washington served in the Virginia House of Burgesses, where he started to grow really critical of the British colonial policies, eventually turning him to support American independence. Washington would attend the First Continental Congress as a Virginia delegate in response to British policies. The Continental Congress would appoint Washington as Commander-in-Chief of the Continental Army. This pivotal role placed him at the center of the fight for American independence. Washington would lead a daring crossing of the Delaware River, and he would secure a victory at the Battle of Trenton. This victory at Trenton would really boost American morale and strengthen the resolve of the revolutionary cause. Washington would endure a really difficult winter at Valley Forge, where he would oversee critical training and reorganization of his troops. Washington would achieve victory over the British at the Battle of Yorktown. This effectively ended the Revolutionary War. This decisive win would secure independence for the United States, and it would solidify Washington's status as a national hero. Washington would resign his military commission and return to civilian life. And doing this really set a powerful precedent for peaceful transfer of power and reinforcing his commitment to democracy. Washington would preside over the Constitutional Convention in Philadelphia, lending his credibility and his leadership to help create the U.S. Constitution. Washington is unanimously elected as President of the United States. His inauguration would mark the birth of the American Executive Office, setting precedents for the role of president. Washington's going to sign a bill establishing the first bank of the United States, and he's going to oversee the Whiskey Rebellion. Washington is going to begin his second term as president, again being elected unanimously as president. Washington is going to issue his farewell address, in which he advises the nation to avoid political parties and foreign alliances. This address becomes a guiding document for American politics for years to come. Washington is going to retire from the presidency, and he is going to return home to Mount Vernon to live out the rest of his life. Washington is going to fall ill and die on December 14th at the age of 67 from a throat infection, leaving a legacy as the father of his country. Washington's life epitomizes leadership, dedication, and a profound commitment to American ideas. Born in colonial Virginia, he rose from modest beginnings to become a skilled surveyor, a respected military officer during the French and Indian War, eventually the commander-in-chief of the Continental Army during the American Revolution, and then on to be the first president of the United States. His life and actions continue to serve as a guiding light, exemplifying integrity and setting the highest standards for those who would follow in his footsteps.